In the last few days, I've had quite a few people asking for help with people coming to the house with visitors, and it's another fallout really from lockdown, I think. There's puppies, of course, who haven't had many visitors to the house, and there's older dogs who got out of practice. So what happens? It all starts with that doorbell. The doorbell rings, and that heralds all sorts of things. It heralds the people in the house jumping up to go to the door, general excitement, and then the unknown of who might be coming in. So that is the first. By the time the person actually comes in, your dog is already highly aroused. There can be two reasons, of course, for the dog's reactivity to somebody coming in the house. It can be either the dog is just excited and very pleased to see them, or scared, or I think in a lot of cases it's a little mixture of both. I mean, if I go to somebody's house and they're really excited to see me and they've never met me before and they want to hug me and offer me drinks, I would think that is actually masking a bit of anxiety as well. So we've really got two different things here. We've got puppies, what's the best thing to do about puppies, and what's the best thing to do about older dogs. So the first thing in my mind has to be done is to get the dog more immunized to the doorbell or the knocker. So the first thing, and I've done it myself, is to constantly ring that bell. Anybody who comes in, anybody who walks past, maybe even get a spare buzzer, a spare bell which sounds the same. So it's always ringing. And most of the time when it's ringing, nothing happens. Sometimes when it's ringing, food drops on the floor. So basically any associations that ring or the knock has are pleasant associations, and eventually the dog begins to think, oh, well, that's the doorbell ring. That means nothing's happening, because it's going to be many, many less times heralding something happening than. So first of all, you need to get the doorbell out of the equation. So then you've got to calm a dog. All right. Now, with a puppy, I think it's fairly simple. The first thing is you really must train that person coming in the door. That person really should take no notice of the puppy unless the feet are on the floor. And so, okay, just look away, just don't do anything, don't turn around or anything, just wait. Now, the moment the feet go on the floor, then I think that person, if they can, should go down to puppy's level, right down on the floor, and say hello to puppy. Because if they then say hello to puppy, puppy will be jumping up again, because puppy wants to get to face level, really, because that's what dogs do. So that will very soon teach puppy that actually if puppy stays on the floor, the person comes down to their level. And I would say new people coming must be asked that if puppy doesn't jump up, then can they go down to puppy's level and say hello there. Now, it's vital not to get puppy too excited. So if your hello is oh da 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 da, that puppy's going to be excited, and of course an excited puppy can't control itself, can it? Him or her. Okay, so that's the puppy thing. Now, with an older dog, if either way, really, to start with, the dog is so majorly excited or majorly fearful or however it feels, that really to ask it to sit somewhere or stay somewhere is a little bit of a big ask. The emotion has to be dealt with first. Eventually down the road, great, maybe the puppy can be taught, or the dog, I mean, can be taught to hang back, sit somewhere, lie down somewhere. But to start with, we need to look at what's happening. I would normally say when somebody rings the bell, when you get actually desensitized to the doorbell, you actually as well get the dog to realize that doorbell means run into the kitchen or somewhere behind a door or a gate. So immediately doorbell or knocker means run into the kitchen, have some food on the floor and stay there for a minute. So that means when it's somebody real or a delivery, dog already knows what's required of it. Into the kitchen, stay there. Now, when the person actually comes in, it's going to depend largely on what is the problem, whether the dog is just a very excited dog or whether the dog is actually quite scared and is wary and it's alarmed and wants to bark at the person. So the best, most easy thing really for that dog is if the person is sitting down somewhere and then the dog joins them, rather than the dog at the door and this person straight coming towards them. Now, this is the stage where, in a way, you need one-to-one help, because it all depends on the dog. It depends how the dog reacts. It depends on you. It depends on so many things. What is the best way? Do you use food? How do you use food? Should the dog perhaps not join you at all for now? Should you bring the dog in on lead? There's so many things. I mean, in some cases, maybe the dog might even be muzzled just so that people can relax. Anyway, so at this moment I've scheduled a post to go live in the group, which has 10 of my case stories in there, all dealing with various situations of dogs feeling reactive to people coming into the house. So you'll be able to see how each case is different and what we actually do about it is different. So if it is a problem that you're having, I would strongly recommend you have an online consultation, because that issue of being very reactive to a person coming to the house won't be isolated. That dog isn't going to be the totally calm dog with no other problems who suddenly does this just because somebody comes in the house. There's going to be other things to deal with. So